interrupt this program with a special bulletin from the John Doe Radio Show.
I don't need you.
That's where we don't smoke that neon kings of lean.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs.
Any questions?
John Doe Radio.
Radio.
I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
How much higher can you get?
The human brain is made for thinking, not pubic experience. It's hardly a tinkertoy or experimenting. Not pubic with drugs.
Why do we talk about marijuana? It's the single biggest drug that is a source of some confusion.
This is really about educating the public about the fact that marijuana is a less harmful drug.
Marijuana, that's to get high. You can be as high as you want.
The prohibition of marijuana over the last 71 years has not actually prevented you from using marijuana.
You feel weak.
Close to winning the war on drugs.
I do believe there have been some successes.
We will never arrest our way out of this problem.
Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show today, a lovely Friday, the 13th in the Mile High. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. I am John Doe, here with our staff of maniacs, Kim up in here, and also Phil the Thrill. No, you didn't like that. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. He just stands there and films like a cameraman should. It's like, seriously, I'm not kidding you. The dude's like, he was born probably a cameraman, and he doesn't know it. Like, he doesn't even know how many cameramen like I've dealt with, not a lot, but I mean, I've been around news stations and I've been through broadcasting school, and there's a certain type of person that cameraman. And he's got it. It's hard to shake him. It's hard to rattle him. What's that?
I said he's too busy watching that screen.
That's why he's a good cameraman. Not rattle. He's paying attention to his production. Don't pay attention to me. He's doing his production thing and knowing that the entertainment thing is happening on over here, and he's got to catch that. And if he don't do his job doing that, then there's no worth doing my job. Got it?
Yes, sir.
We sitting here in the damn studio. It's cold. Everywhere I go, I'm freezing cold today and yesterday. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's nerves. Maybe it's whatever. But for sure. What?
Maybe it's the weather.
It is a little cold outside. But the studio this morning is hugely, massively, freezingly cold. I do not to know why. There is a boiler company outside, so who knows? Maybe that has something to do with something with it. Anyway, we'll probably have Steve Elliott on the show here in just a few minutes when we get past all our commercials and past the commercial break. Talk with Steve Elliott from tokeofthetown.com. Give us some update on news and all that good times stuff. There's a lot of news to talk about, actually. And every day of the next... What? How many more months we got? What is it even this month? It's January.
It's January, yes. How many months do we have till?
I keep wanting it to be like February for some reason, because I keep wanting the bills that have come across the plate right now that I still have to take care of by the end of this month to be gone, because I need the money from now until the end of this month for the bills next month. They're stupid. Still better than doing anything else. Sitting here informing y'all, have a good times. Anyway, what was I talking about?
You're talking about news and paying bills.
Before that,
talking about you're going to have Steve Elliott on after commercials.
Yeah, we're going to have Steve Elliott on commercials. After commercials. We're going to have him on commercials. He's going to read them for us. I just sent them to him.
And you were asking me how long we had until something, and I don't know what you're asking me how long we had until, so I can't tell you how long it is until then.
You don't speak loud enough into the microphone.
You want me to yell?
There you go. It's better. Or just get right on it. It's like sometimes, though, you're on it, and then you get that voice that gets all mousy.
Sorry. Mousy voices.
All right. Anyway.
Better?
So... Oh, I know what I was talking about. Till now until forever. There's going to be news about legislative news and legislative information coming across the plate because there is so much damn legislative news and information that's going to come across the plate. Legislative session started yesterday, and until November is all you're going to hear about is politics from here on out. Not necessarily from us, but from everyone else. Just every corner, it's when I was working in media, which I still am working in media, but when I was working in a spot where a local radio station, and also interning at a few other spots where ad time was being bought for candidates and stuff like that. Around this time of year, man, seriously, around the beginning of the year, and especially, let's see, like especially August, your whole lineup for you've been bought out completely by the political campaign side of things. Like the monetary fund that goes into politics is just absolutely insane. It's crazy, man. So we'll be talking a lot about the politics that are going to be going down in the politics. Here in Colorado, we're going to try and stick with, what I mean is, here in Colorado, we're going to try and stick with the things that we've stuck with forever for the beginning and make sure that you're informed. Always stay close and plugged in with our good friends. But also continue to, as we've always done, to try and branch out and connect with the other states and connect with other people, other legislations doing business that they're doing. So if there's someone out there that we can have on the show and talk with and discuss their law or something that's coming across the plate, we of course want to do that. Man, that cereal gave me indigestion. I should know that when I chug the crap out of cereal before I get on the show. That sometimes I get indigestion. And this oil is oily. A little oily. It is 11:12 in the Mile High. Too bad this is no longer the 11:11 home game. If we go the 2-hour game, we could hit the 12:12. So I don't have
usually hit 12:12.
I don't have too many plans for this weekend. I think that it's going to be a real big bummer. I'm going to try and stay as positive as possible. A couple buddies moving out of the house. The Cushes, Jenny and Jeremy, moving out. And, so it's just going to be me at the casa again. I don't know exactly how I feel about that. I think I'm going to be kind of lonely. And I don't know. I may have to have some company come over. Kim will come over and hang out with me, won't you?
Sure.
And I've been missing video games a lot lately. I need to get into the video games again. You know? Play some Modern Warfare.
Maybe Kendrick will come play video games with you.
That'd be cool, your son.
Yeah.
Phil, you could
or little Phil.
Come over and play some game, man. Come over and rock it out, hang out, dude. Toke down. It'd be cool. Oh, that reminds me, we need to get that appointment, Doc.
I'm waiting for a return.
Right. Yeah. And then, I'm just gonna chill and hang out. Do nothing. So it should be good times. Oh yeah, we also have our ganja. Isn't it gala?
Yes, but they're pronounced
Ganja Gala. So giveaway for the Ganja Gala this weekend. If you're in Colorado and you want to make it down to this event, which takes place the 27th. The question, John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com. John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com. Answer it there. This is from MMAPA. Which gangster was famous for alcohol bootlegging and was brought down for tax evasion? What gangster was famous for alcohol bootlegging and was brought down for tax evasion? Email the answer to John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com and we can hook you up with some business. What I'm talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. That landed right there. That sucked. I'm supposed to fly like an eagle.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Now you can win tickets to this awesome event, and it's going to be pretty cool. The Roaring 20s. Roaring 20s.
I don't even know what I would begin to.
I don't even know what I wear. I don't even.
Is that the zoot suit times, or is that?
Yeah, that's.
that?
Well, I mean, yeah, sort of like. Yeah, you could. That would fly. Totally, man. That's like the late 30s, probably more.
I think my brother went to a 40s ball. It was military kind of style, but I don't know 20s.
Damn it. There is shiz we have to get to, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some commercials here. Make sure that our good friends are taken care of, that take care of us. By the way, contact me today, John Doe Radio. Or no, not that. John Doe at johndoeradio.com or Kim at johndoeradio.com. Contact us today if you're looking for a sponsorship. I'll hook you up with like fat deal. We'll hook you up with something super special if you're really looking. I don't want to make any of our other sponsors feel bad, but there is a little bit of, if we could get past this month and next month and keep the sponsors that we have happy, I think that my bills and everything will be taken care of. It'll be a little bit more relaxed and saw it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But big time thanks to our friends at CPM, Compassionate Pain Management, both in Lakewood and Louisville. A group of people who do care about providing you with the best service and care. They are a holistic healing center that offers massage therapy, acupuncture, Reiki practices, and pain management care plans, along with cannabis products to help improve your life and decrease your suffering. It's important to make sure you pick a place who is part of all this for the right reason and can offer you more than just those top-shelf meds. Located in Lakewood at 1585 Quail Street, number 13B, and in Louisville at 1116-7 West Dillon Road on the southwest corner of West Dillon and McCaslin. Make sure you consider more than just top-shelf meds that are required from respected cannabis centers by adding more to your therapy regimen. Same thing. Pretty much right. Chinese medicine, therapeutic massage, lymphatic drainage, hot stone massage, just a few of the options available to you at Compassionate Pain Management. CPM, 2 locations, Lakewood, 1585 Quail Street, number 13B, and Louisville, 1116-7 West Dillon Road on the southwest corner of West Dillon and McCaslin, or call them in Louisville, 303-665-5596, 303-665-5596, or in Lakewood, 303-232-3620. 303-232-3620. Ran out of gas in the middle of the 20, the 2 and the 0, like it was 3620. What kind of noise that was, I have absolutely no farking clue. So, all right, before I delay any longer, man, I could just sit here and delay and bullshit, I guess, for a minute. A little bit more relaxed that now I have an extra week to take care of an extra bill. That just goes into play with the everything else. Think positive. Just think positive. Don't get all stressed out about stuff. You'll be good times, all right? Hopefully everybody out there is having good times too, because that's another thing that I want to realize is that, you know, if I talk about this stuff too much, my personal life, and I go on about it too much, I don't want to stress out, depress everybody else out there. They got their own lives to deal with.
Yes, sir.
But it's okay. We are also sort of this reality show, so it's all right. All right, Steve's like, get to the commercial so you can call me. It's the John Doe Radio Show. We do it live.
Produced a mile above sea level. You can't get much higher than that. John Doe Radio.
Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has got your high-quality, American-made, unique pieces and some of the best scientific glass available anywhere. Artists and companies like Mike Fro, Cowboy, Zob, Royal, and D-Rock with some of the best products the Mile High State has to offer. Treehouse, Joel Halen, Worm, Tricky, and more. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop also carries Sheldon Black, one of the highest names in glass standards. Don't miss out on the Holy Water style collection either. Our friend John Waters offers his line of shirts, jackets, hats, and skateboards for men and women. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop for everything the JDR Army needs. Mention JDR or John Doe Radio and get 20% off. 20%! Visit MadHatterSmokeShop.com or email store@MadHatterSmokeShop.com for inquiries. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, 6091 West Colfax Avenue in Denver, 303-953-7015. Store@MadHatterSmokeShop.com, 6091 West Colfax Avenue, Denver, Colorado, 303-953-7015. Under Pink House Blooms, you will find some of Colorado's most respected and popular cannabis centers, including the Cherry Company at 111 Madison Street, the Pearl Company at 1445 Pearl Street, and the Teapot Lounge at 2008 Federal. You have heard the amazing products available from Nika T and his solventless wax and hashes from his appearances on John Doe Radio, and now you get to know about the amazing ISO hash made by our good bud Stephen Lewis. This ISO wax cannot be beat, and I challenge you to find a better product. But not only are the products great, but just as I need in my personal caregiver, the service is friendly and personable too. Pink House Blooms and its stores are proud to carry essential extracts, rare dankness, and hoodlum and vector products. All stores are open from 10 to 7 every day, with daily specials like Tuesday, 2-for-1 joints, Warehouse Wednesdays, where they weigh all Pink House grown meds at 4-gram eighths all day long. Thursdays, buy one edible, get the other half off, and Sundays, let's just say, they make it rain. And remember, industry employees get a discount at patient pricing. The Cherry Company on 111 Madison Street, 303-399-6337. The Pearl Company at 1445 South Pearl Street, 303-733-6337. And the Teapot Lounge at 2008 Federal, 303-656-9697. Pink House Blooms.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it on grass. Runongrass.com.
Platte Valley Medical Marijuana Center in Denver has some of the most affordable prices anywhere. Don't believe us? Call them 303-953-0295. That's 303-953-0295. Or just head down and visit them. Trust us. Located at 2301 7th Street, Unit B, across from the Denver Aquarium. Great people who care about a fine selection of meds and a wide variety of extracts from top shelf extracts. With daily specials like Monday Madness with premium strain specific joints for only $1 when they're normally $3. Wax Wednesday with all wax for $15 a gram when normally $20 a gram. And during the NFL playoffs, Platte Valley is running a special on select ounces for just $125 and select $15 eighths, not bottom shelf strains either. You didn't miss what I just said. $125 ounces and $15 select eighths, not bottom shelf strains either. Don't miss one of the busiest and most convenient dispensary locations in Denver, Platte Valley Medical Marijuana Center, located at 2301 7th Street, Unit B, 303-953-0295. And until January 15th, everyone gets patient prices at $25 eighths and $150 ounces. Platte Valley Medical Marijuana Center.
John Doe Radio.
I'm not going to take that out. This stupid thing, why did it stop? You know, if nobody was paying attention there, it would have just seemed like we hit a brick wall. It's lucky that we have a goddamn good producer up in this business that knows what the hell they're doing and when to put stops there and when not to put stops there. See what happens when we jack around before the show and stupidness don't get done. Maybe run into a brick wall. Everybody was like, what just happened? They're checking their internet connections. They're like, did I just lose the internet? Steve Elliott from Toke of the Town.
Hello.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, John Doe Radio Show.
We're doing live again this Friday. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that all completely uncomfortable there. I wilded out there a little for a second. It got a little interesting. I didn't expect my whole system to stop there and then me to have to restart my heart and restart the system. So it's good to have Steve Elliott from tokeofthetown.com on with us. Every Friday we get with him, and we usually have William Breeze in with us also, but William messaged me, said he was a little bit busy with some stuff going on, seeing as how we have these... Nobody knows what dispensary got letter or whatever, so I'm sure that's what Will's doing. Anyway, we have Steve for news every Friday. Thank you, Steve.
$125 ounces. It sounds to me like people need to get over there at Platte Valley and get in on that deal.
You telling me $15 ace, $15 ace. And they miss the Wax Wednesdays, man, especially with Wax Wednesdays with top shelf extracts, which Kim has become fond of. The $15 grams when like normally this past summer we were scrounging to find a place that had something for maybe $30 that was just gooey, nasty, still had a bunch of, tain left in it. Maybe we were getting it for $40. Some places, doing honey oil up to $80. And there's still spots in Colorado that have those prices, but in Denver, man, and surrounding areas, it is a price war because they eliminated the private caregiver. It's all in-house.
I thought I was cool last Sunday in Seattle getting an ounce for $2.20 where the grams would have been $15. But $2.20 is nice, but $1.25 is way nice.
Yeah, and they're not bad buds either, man. Like some of this stuff that I'll admit when they, I'm not gonna admit. I've said from the beginning that a lot of the dispensaries have had just not the greatest top quality. That it's always going to be, the home grower that's going to be able to produce, the person that produces at a smaller level going to be able to produce the best greens, and I still feel that way, but. I also take it back on how much and how quickly some of these dispensaries are bouncing back from having to either grow their own at all or expand their grow massively. And some of the stuff coming out of some of these grows is crazy. Like yesterday we saw at a spot, I saw purple island sweet skunk. Like because here in Colorado we get those nice little overnight freezes and stuff and get cold for a couple nights in a row, man. It looked like island sweet skunk. Went in there straight. Oh my goodness, this is island sweet skunk, but it was purple. Usually it's red and nice yellow, orange, long, big hairs, and those hairs were there, but it was purple.
Those cool nights will do it.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing, and I'm sure you probably see the same thing out there, but here in Colorado, there'll be a few nights, where if you grow during the wintertime or something, where if you don't watch your grow or you have it in a spot that you can't completely get it warm enough at night, you gets down below, that like maybe to that 60, even that 58 level, a couple nights in a row, and then doesn't really get above 70 too much. Bam, dude, it's just purple out so much. And Tange, not my dog, but the original Tange, not Tangerine Haze either, but Tange, our strain that we love, it's got it when it does that, it's like perfect because it's this outdoor strain. And when it does that, when you hit it with those lower levels that it's used to, it's like the most beautiful rose flower, awesome marijuana bud in the world. I love it.
That sounds delicious.
Doesn't it? Just sounds fantastic, man. There's a lot of crazy news and stuff going on this week. I don't know what specifically you had to talk about. So if
I know you guys are concerned about the crackdown. I guess there's not a list of the 23 shops that got the letter yet, huh?
We don't have, and we sit in here in a lawyer's office, and I have not heard of anything yet. I asked this morning, and I don't think there's one. They're claiming on the internet, like on westward.com, that Warren knows who someone is, and Warren may know who someone is, but officially no. Nobody knows who anybody is. It's weird.
Yeah, that'll come out soon enough, I guess. But right now, that leaves a lot of people wondering, huh?
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. It's like, usually it's such a public, big hoopla thing. And I don't know, I kind of think it's a good thing, man, in a way that this has not been made such... I mean, I don't know how to put this because we're stepping on some very thin ice here. I'm thinking of falling into like freezing waters here and never being able to get out. But I think keeping it on the down low is winning that war of media that they want to win. You know what I'm saying? When you start hearing on the news 23 dispensaries, raided, and they start listing off places, and then you're like, oh, that's close to me. Oh, that's close to me. It really starts to hit home, and that game that they're trying to play, that media just, fighting, and it really digs in more of that soccer mom, when they hear stuff like that. So if they don't hear things like this, and they're just like, oh, it's just 23 dispensaries. How many dispensaries we have in Denver? Oh, what a big deal, I mean, the more concerning part for me is that there is other investigations going, rather than just the letters sent out. And by the way, the letter sent out were letters sent to people that were near schools and daycares, stuff like that were within 1,000 feet as the crow flies. Now, here in Colorado, how we went and did our rules and law, it was how you walked. So, I mean, for property line. And also, there were a few places that were grandfathered in to the situation. So, so supposedly the feds say you can follow state law 100%, and we'll leave you alone. But
that's at least a little bit of wiggle room, but they can twist things around if they want you, so that they can find some state law that you're supposedly not complying with.
The DEA's got a big butt.
So what happens?
They got a big ass.
Are any of these places that have already got their license?
We don't know who they are.
But I mean, could they possibly be? And at that point, then what happens? Because they're backed by.
Well, that's the whole point. Is what is the state going to do? What is the state going to? I mean, how is the state going to respond to this? And I guess that's the response. At first, it would come from a statement, and then if actions were to happen, then it's like I don't know. What do you think it would do?
It's an interesting game they're playing because, they're out of one side of their mouth, they're saying, okay, you're all violating the law. Marijuana's illegal for any purpose under federal law. But out the other side of their mouth, they're saying, but we're just going to get the ones of you within 1,000 feet of a school. Of course, they can change their mind about that at any time, but to me, it's interesting that they feel the need to justify themselves by saying that this has to do with them being close to schools rather than them just saying, okay, we're shutting all of you down.
Yeah, it's a really frustrating situation because supposedly there's this map. I mean, the map that we saw, I mean, there's a lot of dispensaries downtown that would be knocked out by this. Like, I think we can pretty safely assume what some of the dispensaries are, who some of the dispensaries are. I'm not going to speculate here, but, I mean, we were looking at a map the other day on what Warren Edson and I on what we thought that could be knocked out, and it's almost the whole downtown area. And I mean, it's just like all of Denver would would be pockmarked all over. I mean, it would really be a really crappy situation. The thing is, though, I don't know, man. How serious are the feds? Like, how serious?
It's hard to tell when they're still prevaricating and saying, okay, you're violating state law, so we're getting you. And they don't have to do that since that's not written in any rule anywhere. That leaves everything open theoretically, and that's what makes me uneasy, the fact that they can decide to stop going by that distinction at any time.
Yeah, I mean, it's Warren Edson just walked in and distracted me. Dang it, I didn't think he was going to be in. It's hard. It can be hard not to grab him. I think he's got an insanely busy schedule. I don't know if we would be able to grab him yet. Kim, go ask him real fast to see if he knows of anybody and if there's any news from the situation or not. Thank you very much, Kim, our awesome studio manager up in here. The thing is, there's a lawyer here in Colorado. News story came out last night. Rob Corey had said, who was my lawyer, who I feel probably kept me out of prison for 2 years. Got all my stuff ordered back to me back in 2007, despite me being convicted of a felony.
That's a good lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, as far as he knew, as far as we could find anywhere, it was the first time it had ever happened in the nation. So anyway, Rob Corey says to ignore these federal letters. He's saying just straight up ignore the federal threats, and it's just a bunch of saber rattling, and here in the state that we've done our thing and we've got our sovereignty and we should stay strong. I don't know. That's quite a. I don't know, man. I mean, there's not many. The problem is you either ignore the letter or go out of business. Period. End of story. Because we have a moratorium right now. There's no real spot for anyone else to go and open up in, and unless the state comes to the help of these dispensaries and the people that were, given these letters and that are harmed by these letters, there's really not a lot they can do. There's like nothing. That's why in discussion yesterday, when we were talking to Monday about the moratorium with CPM, why I think it's such a bad idea. Here's a whole other reason why it's a bad idea. There's nowhere to go.
Warren said he doesn't think anybody knows yet They should be getting the letters today. They were supposedly mailed yesterday.
So no one's got the letters yet?
Correct.
What a bunch of media hype. So no one's got the... No wonder why nobody knows.
Yeah.
Because nobody's got the letters
That's why nobody's talking,
yet.
because they don't know yet.
Damn it, I thought we were being...
He said he might be able to come in for a second.
I thought... He's got his nice hoodlum pea coat on, doesn't he? Yeah, it looks good, man. I got my hoodlum on. It's cold in the office today. So that's interesting, Steve, that we just found that out, that today the letters are supposedly still going out. So
I guess we're about to find out where at least some of them went then.
Yeah. Dang. That would have been...
Among that not so good news, there was some better news coming from the East Coast where Vermont now says that they should have marijuana dispensaries open and operating by summer. So finally there, patients are going to have safe access.
Yeah.
And I guess they're not going to blink in the face of this federal saber rattling the way that some other states have done, including Rhode Island and New Jersey as well. I like what Vermont is doing. They're just going ahead with their program. They plan to open 4 dispensaries across the state, and those should be open by July.
That'd be interesting. What do you know some of the rules and what they were going to have to deal with down there?
I'm not real familiar with it right now. I do know that the law was passed last year, and in the law it says up to 4 of them, and the Public Safety Department is the state agency that's going to have authority over them, and they're supposed to write the rules that they're going to go by, but they haven't gone public with those. They're saying sometime in the next couple weeks those rules should be made public.
So they're expected to basically open up and do all the, like, what? That doesn't give a lot of time for people to, learn the rules.
It seems like it's kind of like that, but I would rather patients have safe access sooner rather than later. I mean, like, look at New Jersey. They passed their law 2 years ago, and nobody can still buy any legal pot.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part about that part. But that seems like it's a whole different story in itself too. That's a whole nother battle. At least in this, they don't have anything, but at least maybe having rules or something to follow. Be like the night before, it's like standing at the door going open, 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 and then you're not gonna, you don't know exactly. It's stupid analogies, but. It's just there's so many frustrating deals with this. So many people trying to hold up situations. Here in Colorado, what we're going to probably have to deal with coming again is the DUI bill. It's like you have people that just keep wanting to push things through, keep wanting to stand in the way of others, and it's just a small few people with sometimes a very large voice and very large pull that screw it up for the rest. But if the rest would just get off their ass and pull back, maybe we would win something sometimes. Well, we are winning sometimes, but...
We're facing the same thing with the DUI law here, of course, which is part of that I-502 legalization initiative that appears headed for the ballot in November. And, of course, as exciting as it is to have a legalization bill, and this is a limited one, it just would include up to 1 ounce, no home cultivation, you have to buy it from a state-licensed store. Of course, the fact that it has a 5 nanogram per milliliter blood THC limit is a big, big deficit and something that definitely needs addressing, especially on behalf of patients who are going to be wide open to prosecution for driving whether or not they're impaired, because most of us never go below that level.
Yeah.
There's possibly some help coming from the legislature, though. They're about to be in session, and I'm told that the legislature will be looking at a fixer bill to fix that DUI provision and hopefully get some protection in place for patients. We're going to have to wait and see on that, but I am told there is a chance that could happen within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'd really like to see some protection for this 35-day patient rule here in Colorado, the situation that's happening right now with new patient signups and the renewals. I mean, it's frustrating to see the situation that's happened. 35-day rule is something ridiculous. I mean, if a doctor is signed off, the problem is that they tighten the doctor rules, and they still don't trust their doctor rules. And
wow.
I don't know. It's weird. If you have rules for who can and can't do certain things, then those rules should be cut and dry. So when you go to a doctor and you get your paperwork signed up and it's, with a legitimate doctor, you shouldn't have to wait 35 days to be approved through the med. The med should have already approved that doctor, should have already approved the situation. It shouldn't be that close of a government watch over with my health. I mean, just period, end of story. I understand them not wanting to have certain doctors on board or, giving recommendation or whatnot, but that's where the legislation came in. That's where Senate Bill 109 here in Colorado happened.
Right.
Stay the hell out of my health care, damn it.
I really do get weary of legislators and even more so law enforcement having a voice in my health care. Yeah. I object to that strongly.
Yeah, I think it's a huge problem, number one, because these are not healthcare providers. They were not trained to be healthcare providers. And two, you're morally delegating something to me that's like, this is my body. This is the utmost freedom that we can have, I think, do unto your body what you want, I mean,
it doesn't get much more personal than that. And
period.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, ingest some sort of substance like Mountain Dew, which Kim is doing over here, is probably going to be glowing. If aliens come down from space and they
my
analyze,
veins have Mountain Dew in them.
Dude, my grandpa just every day was like 2-liter Mountain Dew at least. But I swear if aliens ever come down and they scan the earth, they're gonna be like,
I drink at least a 2-liter a day.
They're gonna think
cans a day I drink?
They're gonna start harvesting Mountain Dew people because it's just gonna be like, oh, they look the same as a nuclear.
We're gonna be glowing.
I'm safe because it's all Coca-Cola with me.
Oh, see, man, we're always asking now. The cushions around the house, man. Jenny and Jeremy. I think Jeremy likes Coke. I don't know. Jenny likes Coke. Anyway, they're always asking for Coke around the house. So, yeah, it's always Coke. And there's always jokes about the Coke. Cocaine! Aye! So,
there's another bit of good news this week. Oregon patients can keep their guns. That's from the Supreme Court of the United States.
Nice.
Concealed handgun owners will be allowed to keep their gun licenses. And they had a local sheriff in Oregon who was hostile to medical marijuana patients being armed. And he started there at the local level and fought every stage of the way and lost every court decision from locally all the way up to the Supreme Court. He never won at any single level. But now there is no further court of appeal, and Oregon patients get to have gun licenses. So at least that's one state now where the Second Amendment rights of patients have been restored. I guess it looks like if I'm right about this, it's going to have to be done on a state-by-state basis as far as taking it to state Supreme Courts to secure those rights elsewhere, because this apparently doesn't apply anywhere except in Oregon.
We got a Warren Edson for a minute. I didn't think you were going to be in. I asked Greg, and he said you had a busy day, craziness.
Oh, total crazy. Figured I'd stop in here in between court appearances.
Yes. Court. Lovely. Love court. No, I never want to be in court again. So, Warren, you say that there's nobody that's received letters yet here in Colorado?
Well, they were mailed out yesterday.
Oh, they were mailed out yesterday.
So I'm assuming, because they were mailed out, I think, from actually downtown, that most folks should be getting them today, particularly since my understanding is this first wave of letters was mainly sent out to Denver businesses.
And this is just a first wave? There'll be more waves?
Yes, I believe the exact quote was 4 or 5 waves.
4 or 5 waves?
Yeah, why?
What? They can't, I mean, are they covering schools in one, something in another, or is it just like all 4 waves of different people that are close to school?
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, we know in California they did schools and parks. We know the letters we've seen so far are simply schools. We don't know who exactly is going to get the letters, because then we can determine how they're measuring. Because for listeners out there, Colorado measures the distance between a dispensary, we call them centers here, and the schools by starting at the front door of the center and walking as a person would legally walk to the property line of the school. And that's how they measure. But in federal land, they measure from property line to property line as a crow flies. And that's obviously a much shorter distance.
Yeah.
So what we're going to see this first wave, we're guessing, is going to be those who are grandfathered in, meaning they didn't even meet the Colorado distance requirements between centers and schools, but the local jurisdictions were kind enough to grandfather them in because they'd set up their business and there was no indication they were a bad business or were doing any harm to the community.
Yeah.
I'd expect the next wave to be the next round of school folks, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But like I just kind of hinted at, Tim, the overall thing that pisses me off is, as most of your listeners are aware, we've created a whole bunch of rules here in Colorado for the medical marijuana industry, rules that most would say are draconian and overhanded, heavy-handed, whatever you want to say. That said, we've decided to measure that distance between a school and a dispensary one way as Colorado citizens and politicians. Clearly, that kept our community safe because I've yet to see one example of medical marijuana getting directly from a center to a patient, to a underage non-patient ever. Yet, despite that, despite us being safe, despite this decision being made here locally by our community and our politicians, the federal government's decided they know better and have to come in and enforce their own ideas and judgment.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, how many times have you seen on like that 70s show or some other show the dumbass standing outside trying to, buy some beer from someone that's underage or whatever? And the only reason why I say dumbass is because that's what the Red called.
Dude, it's Friday. Go down to the 7-Eleven 3 blocks from here in about 6 hours, and you'll see somebody standing there trying to do that.
Yeah, right, Steve?
Happens all the time.
I mean, and we've yet to hear a story like that here in Colorado.
Well, and Steve, it was amazing. Like I started bitching on Facebook yesterday, of course. And in one of them, I sent out what I just said. Has anybody out there ever found one example of this in Colorado? And of all people, Denver councilperson Albus Brooks, who just happened to kick my ass last electoral cycle, Albus actually answered and agrees with us that this is heavy-handed, and put it right on my Facebook page. I'm not giving secrets, not sending out messages. He plastered it right there twice for all the world to see. And this is a guy who's, just wrote a big editorial in one of our local newspapers, ripping the crap out of what he calls crack pipes, meaning those little glass things with roses in it that are for sale in 7-Eleven and other little stores. So, I mean, this is not a soft on drugs or this is a war on drugs guy. And here he is even agreeing with us.
Yeah, it's
signs of progress.
Well, and he was one of the people pointing out that if anything, this industry should be, meaning the medical marijuana industry here in Colorado, should be applauded for the fact that we can't find an example of a kid getting weed directly from the store.
Yeah, I mean, it's like them actually walking in, being able to get it, and you gotta assume though that there's people that go in, get cannabis, resell it, whatever. I mean, that's going to happen, whatever. But
that's going to happen, and we're going to also have the equivalent of the parents' liquor cabinet being raided by their kid. We're going to have a parent with a medicine cabinet that's got marijuana in it, and just like their pharmaceutical drugs, come on, a high school kid's going to break in there and steal some shit.
By the way, Steve and Warren, did you know, new anti-drug commercial, did you know that enabling is now a drug?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Is there going to be a war on enabling?
Dude, I'm serious. It said enabling is a drug at the end of the commercial. I don't know if it was enabling, it was the word, but I think that was. I was so high at the time, I can't remember. It was late. But yeah, and I couldn't believe it. I was trying to remember it. And then I'm trying to type it out, and my mind was so blown that I had seen this new anti-drug commercial, and it was interesting because it's like the mom, sitting there with their kids, and what beer should we buy? Oh, this is okay to do at a party, and this is like that.
Really?
Argument with the dad about what's okay,
which glass blower do you like best?
No, that's for us connoisseur party goers. All right. No, they're talking about what beer is best and what type of joint should we roll or something like that. I mean, it was stupid. It's and then ended with enabling is a drug, and I was like, oh,
I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, if I find it, I'll definitely throw that out there.
Well, then again, kind of like we touched on, man, we got a whole new generation of Colorado parents who are medical marijuana patients who now also have to guard their stash as well as their liquor cabinet. So, different age.
It's been that way for a while though too, because I remember growing up, my I don't know.
Careful now.
Not my parents, not my parents, but
I had this friend.
My friend's parents. Like I never found my dad's stash. If my dad, I know he didn't really smoke though until he got out of the Department of Transportation. And my mom, I know, didn't really...
Until Tim hit his teenage years, and then for some reason he... Never mind.
Yeah. That's kind of true, though. But yeah, our generation has had to deal with the stash box, though. I mean, it's been there. That's where, I've got friends... sat down and smoked for, the first time at my friend's house. And then his mom came home and, had this little vacuum cleaner keyboard, one of the first... back in the day, when I'm the vacuum cleaner keyboard things, and it made it into a pipe, and you turn it on, and it was and just we shotgun this stream of smoke, dude, and we were just toking on that thing, and then we went to Skate City.
Good times.
What was wrong with that? Look how I ended up. There's nothing wrong with that. No, I'm kidding.
No comment.
All right, yeah, exactly.
So, anything fun going out your direction this week, Steve?
I just want to echo something that you said, Warren. You're absolutely right that the people of Colorado have decided about how their state is going to treat this medical marijuana issue. It's in the Constitution of the state now. It's probably the most well-regulated program in the nation. Some would say over-regulated, of course, and they may have a point there. But the thing is, it is tightly regulated. It's a well-run system that people overwhelmingly voted for. It's part of the state constitution. I think that it's time for the people of Colorado to react strongly to this overreaching by the federal government, this Budinsky nature of the federal government, and let them know, look, we're perfectly capable of running our state here. We're perfectly capable of handling medical marijuana in the manner that seems appropriate to us.
Yeah.
Thanks for your input. Your objections have been noted. Now, butt out. It's time for Colorado to tell the feds that.
Well, and that's what I'm hoping, Steve. But, man, the feds did pull a smart move, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But in making this first wave potentially targeting only the centers that are grandfathered in, they put our politicians in a really awkward position of arguing that medical marijuana should be near schools. And I fully understand and support your position.
Admire the diabolical genius of the way they did that, so that now if you argue against at least this first wave of letters, you're right, they can put you in the position of, they can say, okay, so what you're doing is you're arguing to have marijuana stores near our schools. And, of course, that's dishonest. That's a bad way to do things. But you're right. That's the way they've manipulated this debate.
Well, and we saw it this morning in our Denver Post because we know Congressman Jared Polis is on our side.
We need to get him in here.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Tim. Check out the quotes in this morning's Post. He's in favor of this first round of letters, and he's not in favor of medical marijuana being sold near schools. Well, it's because of the very thing we're saying. They put him in this awkward position. And while I hoped, and I hope our politicians...
We need to ask him, why...
But why isn't he emphasizing that we decided that this is safe? Show me an example of how this isn't safe, or get the heck out of here because this is a decision we made.
Yeah, we need to get him on the phone and repressure him and be like, why would you say that? It's like you didn't raise.
If you don't think MIG and CBA weren't blowing the crap out of his phone last night,
here's another possibility. The congressman may have said those things, and they chose not to quote those in the story. They just went for the red meat where he said the other stuff. That happens.
True. And, we've put out numerous emails, Facebook crap, texts to him. begging and pleading that he start to try to clarify the issue. Because, Steve, you're not here local, but you're not. I mean, last night on the news, every stinking local newscast was a local reporter sticking a camera in some parent's face as they're leaving school. And the quote was always, "So do you like dispensaries being within 1,000 feet of your kid's school?" And it's like, what parent's going to say? Yes. Probably not many.
There hasn't been a problem. An educated parent would be like, there hasn't been a problem yet. And in fact, dispensaries have made the area safer. So yes. And you know what? I had a kid that went to school on South Broadway, and one of the most heavily dispensary-aerated areas.
My kid goes to school in the Points, man. I mean, come on, let's cut to the chase.
I was trying to make it a JDR-ism, but some of the most heavily cannabis area. I mean, the amount of grows that were in this area, the amount of dispensaries.
The Green
in this
Mile,
area,
man.
Like there was a school right there, and I had no problem. In fact, this spot, I felt way more comfortable than I would 5 Points.
Well,
I'm not saying that you live in Krabby.
Well, no, I live in 5 Points. It is what it is. But I mean, my kid goes to a school that the Denver Post in today's issue just named the school one of the A+ elementary schools in the state, and it's a quarter block from a center, right down the alley from MMJ America. And MMJ America is going to get shut. None of the parents give a crap about MMJ America being there. It has not been a problem. And yeah, in 5 Points is an A+ school. The horror.
It's ridiculous. Hopefully the fight has just begun.
Yep.
Steve, was there anything else?
That about covers it for me this week. Always good to talk to you guys.
Definitely.
Ditto, man. Ditto.
Definitely always good to talk with you. I think we may talk here a minute about pot smoking not being linked to breathing problems may help lungs. That's something that I missed earlier this week. And then
I love when studies like that come out because, when they started that study, they were probably thinking this is the study where we're going to nail cannabis to the wall. Yeah. We're going to measure lung capacity of these guys over a 20-year period, and it would take an idiot to believe anything other than marijuana reduces your lung capacity. After all, you're breathing smoke. That's bad for your lungs. We know that tobacco reduces your lung capacity when you do that. And, of course, when they got their results, the marijuana smokers had more lung capacity than people who didn't smoke anything at all. You've got to love that. That is absolutely priceless stuff. And they also measured tobacco smoking during the same 20-year study, and yes, of course, they had reduced lung capacity after 20 years. I just love the way that when they think they're going to nail cannabis to the wall, it surprises them. And the same thing happened, of course, back with the biggest study of its kind ever conducted at UCLA. Dr. Taskin did the study, and he himself was shocked by his own results when it showed that not only did marijuana not cause lung cancer, it actually slightly decreased the chances of people having lung cancer.
Yeah.
So, I think science is going to finally settle this question as soon as people start paying attention to it.
And I don't know what your newscast said, but the ones around here, the funny point they all drew out of it was they always said, and they reached the conclusion that the marijuana smokers had stronger lungs because they inhale deeper. I don't know where that came from or if it was true, but yeah, it was just funny.
It's those breathing exercises.
Exactly, just like that thing, and you blow and the little ball goes up in the tube, yada, yada, yada.
That's awesome. Dude, that's all I can think of when we talk about that kind of stuff is a nebulizer, marijuana nebulizer. Just gotta be some hash oil or something. Like you're like... just nebulizing yourself with oil.
Give Adam Dunn more ideas.
You better go check
that
the patent on that, Tim, and if there's not one, get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, for real. Adam Dunn's probably...
Yeah, that's what he's on the phone with his patent attorney right now.
I've thought about hooking up the leaf blower to something like maybe like a tube and then a long enough tube and then to a gas mask, but then...
I don't want you to push that monkey test study, Tim.
I was going to say, I'm like, dude, you may just die of no oxygen at all monkey test study. The total study where they said, oh, cannabis is horrible.
15,000 joints, 15 minutes, the damn thing suffocated.
Killed the monkeys dead. It's because you suffocated them. They couldn't breathe. I'm so sorry for the monkeys, though. That's so funny, but the monkeys.
That's going to be tragic when it's on front page of the Denver Post over at the Hood Lab that, 8 people died in a tent because of lack of oxygen.
Stop. That's not even funny to go there. No, I can't do it anymore, all right? Jeez. This is our lawyer telling us. Now we have no defense.
Just keep buying crappy tents. The air will get out.
Yeah, all right, there. Exactly. God. I'm scared sometimes of what could happen without having a lawyer next to us, like Warren.
You heard
sometimes.
it though. He said, "Don't do it no more."
There were a few other things I want.
Well, and hey, man, I'm figuring with friggin' Rob's great statements on 9 News this morning about this Fed thing being a bluff, he's going to test this definition of terrorism for us. And so if Rob disappears, then we're going to know.
Dude, he's straight telling. I was telling Steve earlier. I mean, Rob Corey was my lawyer when my situation happened in 2007, but I just think that he gets a little wild sometimes.
You got to get him on, man, because I love the guy. I mean, I'd love to hear some of his statements now about this. I tried to bug him last night, but didn't catch him. So
yeah, he's a freedom fighter.
He is, and he's got some stuff to say right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he will come on. Maybe we'll talk to him.
No, you should. He would. You know it.
I know.
But anyway,
depends on how many listeners we have.
True.
Yeah. What's that, Steve?
That was a good idea.
That's a good idea, having Rob on.
Yeah. All right, well,
cool, man. I got to run.
All right, yeah, you got to.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
Thanks, Steve.
Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on Monday.
Have a good weekend.
You guys too.
Hopefully.
Later, Warren.
He was heading out the door. I think he heard you, just waved. Good time, Steve. I appreciate it. And as always, you can head to tokeofthetown.com to check out any of Steve's good work. And you're still doing the edible reviews and reviews over at Seattle Weekly, right?
Yes, Toke Signals are dispensary reviews, and the edible reviews are called Incredible Medibles. That's at seattleweekly.com. And, of course, my main base is at tokeofthetown.com.
Awesome, man. Well, have yourself a fantastic weekend, and we'll catch you again next Friday. If you got anything new you ever want to get to us, then we'll get you on any other time, too.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right, we'll see you, man.
Bye.
Good times with the JDR. Here's Steve Elliott, tokeofthetown.com. Read this study here, and then we'll get on with it. Get on with the weekend.
I think it's pretty funny that study came out this week, coinciding with the magazine article.
With your magazine article?
Yeah.
On the pH.
It's pretty awesome.
Hypertension. 20-year study finds no decline in lung function for occasional cannabis smokers. Lung function of most marijuana smokers improves over time. Let's see here. This is a sort of longer. A report to be published in the Journal of American Medical Association shows that over a 20-year period, marijuana smokers generally did not experience a loss in lung function, reports Derek Abma at Post Media News. In fact, many actually enhanced their lung capacity, which one researcher speculated might have come from the practice of deep lunging hits to maximize the intoxicating effects. Whatever the cause, the fact remains that the study showed lung function of most marijuana smokers actually improved slightly over time. A healthy adult man can exhale about a gallon of air in a second, according to the research studies. But cannabis smokers, on average, were able to blow out that gallon of air plus about 50 milliliters. The average number of times marijuana users in the study said they smoked was 2 to 3 times per month, but even in regular users, researchers said they still saw no evidence of breathing problems. In fact, unless you smoke oil. No, I'm kidding. In fact, researchers estimated that lung capacity, it makes it even super strong. It's like super duper. Never mind. In fact, researchers estimated lung capacity would stay slightly larger even if a person had smoked a joint a day for 7 years, or 2 or 3 joints a day for 3 years. Whatever the hell that meant.
What about 2 or 3 joints a day for 20 years?
Yeah, he's like, didn't you? Like, why didn't you? That's stupid. There is, however, another study, the largest of its kind ever conducted by, we just talked about Tashkin, which shows that marijuana smoking, even heavy long-term smoking, does not lead to lung cancer. So we talked about that. Tobacco, another story, as we just talked about with Steve Elliott, decline in the ability to use your lungs, and COPD, all sorts of other problems with cigarette and tobacco smoking. It's ridiculous. So that's good. That's good news. Fantastic news that we didn't cover there last week. Also, this is interesting news. Arkansas, 2 workers who tested positive for marijuana after being injured in an explosion after they tried to use a blowtorch to open a 55-gallon drum that contained flammable liquid were... Steve Elliott says, were rightly denied workers' compensation. The Arkansas Court of Appeals ruled on Wednesday. Well, it's got to be from Arkansas. In a split decision, the court upheld the State Workers' Compensation Commission ruling against Matthew Edmonston and Greg Prock in a case resulting from their accident in 2007. 3 dissenting judges said there was no evidence that the accident occurred because of marijuana use. According to the court's majority opinion, Edmondstein held the barrel, which had earlier contained marine oil, while Prock applied an acetylene torch in an attempt to cut it open. The resulting explosion engulfed both men in flames. They escaped by jumping into Bull Shoals Lake in North Arkansas. This is not funny. Why are you laughing? The man testified at a hearing.
Jumping in a lake.
The man testified at a hearing that they had not used marijuana on the day of the accident, though they admitted using it in the past. A coworker backed them up, testifying he had seen them both on the day of the accident, and they had not seemed impaired. Probably this doesn't seem as funny to me because I actually had to read and write a story and go out to the location of a story where there was a bunch of high schoolers up in Steamboat. They were jumping on an old oil, which, I mean, there's like oil and gas deposits all over here in Colorado, but there's that little oil and when you get gas, you just have those tanks and stuff. I mean, it's not. It's like, you know, people
down
think,
in the ground.
People think of the people think of the grasshopper thing, you know, in Texas when it's like the oil pumping and all that. And I mean, still the same thing. But anyway, there's tanks to capture the methane gas, and there was these kids that were jumping on top of that. And one of them went to go light a cigarette or something, and, you know, like the give or something from it, and then the valve wasn't working on the side. And anyway, they found the kid like 100 yards away with the lighter still in his hand, and I mean, it killed 2 or 3 kids, this explosion. So that's why this explosion, not necessarily.
I don't think that necessarily explosions and hurting people are funny.
No, I'm just saying that.
I mean,
I know. I'm just.
Common sense. Why would you take an acetylene torch to some flammable thing?
Well, you didn't know that it was necessarily. I mean, you thought it was empty, and I mean, you figured that you could knock it off before. I don't know.
I guess I'm just scared of flammable things.
Dumbassery, maybe. Obviously, it was pretty, but so they got denied. Anyway, I don't know. I thought that was an interesting story.
I'm glad they were alive to at least fight for it.
Yeah. Also, if we're going to get down on Down Fridays, one of the reasons why I got out of radio and what got out of news writing is, speaking of fire, one of my good friends, Joey's brothers up there in Wyoming. I had to write a news story. Read a news story about him. Joey's brother got stuck in between 2 water trucks.
Oh, that's not
and a water truck one of them had caught on fire. And I don't know the whole story. Like, he had tried to, the 2 trucks were together, and he had tried to like get out or whatever, and then got stuck, and burned to death.
Oh.
And that Joey was one of the kids that I thought had rolled over the cliff in the accident.
In the car accident before.
Yeah, so I mean, and this is like small town writing stuff. I mean,
you guys went through
granted,
a lot up there.
Granted, this is small towns, man, and yeah, that because it is Craig. That I mean, maybe it is that town.
I mean, I guess things.
There
like
are
that
a few
happen.
towns like that happen, but this town is just like, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it just gets me so upset. I want to go up there to see the little one and hang out with the
We're
little
gonna
one.
make that happen.
And do that, but other than that, man, there's no reason.
Speaking of which, sponsors, get with us.
No reason why I want to go up there.
And the Pink House special today, Cherry Co, Pearl Co, and Teapot, is a rare dankness strain, Bubba Skunk Haze. $15 for patients.
$15 a gram for patients.
Sorry, $15 an eighth for members. $20 an eighth for non-members.
Sounds like a plan. Also, Yeah. So that's why I got out of Red News. We've repeated that a million times, so there's nothing else to get onto. I was seeing if I had any other news here to get onto. It just bums me out, man. I get bummed out when I think about that stuff. I'm bummed out when I think about that part of life from that period of time frame when I started up with Craig till now. Just got lost in this weird... The direction of life was wrong or split, or I'm just on a new path. It's become interesting. I don't know. It's weird to look back on and what should have been, could have been, would have been. It's really interesting, man. When you go through a situation, you have when you have a little kid. I don't envy anybody. You brought the new Maxim, fantastic. I don't envy anybody that has a kid and has to go through a breakup, a divorce, or in a relationship, whatever. I mean, I've got rid of girlfriends, no problem before. Even though I do have a decent dependency issue, probably, I hate being alone. I like having people around. I like doing things with somebody. Quit clicking your thing, and I'll quit clicking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Driving me nuts. I was thinking I was doing it
we
there,
were
and I
both
was
doing it. I think.
No, I was just like.
Oh, you were making some kind of noise, but
well, I was just spinning it in my hand, and I thought I was doing it, and I thought I started thinking, I'm like, wait. I'm just making the motion, and it's just click. There's nothing. It's her.
I'm sorry.
So anyway,
My fault.
I don't envy anybody that situation. I'm not trying to bum anybody out or anything, but just continuance of that story and stuff. Just positive, think positive, do positive, be positive, and it will be positive. I am one of the people out there that will tell people, look, don't tell me to be positive. I've tried to be positive. I don't need to be told that a million times. I've tried. I've tried a million times. But you just have to reach a certain point and a certain level in your accepting that with yourself and where you are at, and then being okay what could happen next. You just got to get okay with that. And that's where that positivity and telling yourself comes from, man. And just dig in that. That's where you find that, and that's where it works. Otherwise you are gonna say, it doesn't work. You can tell yourself a million times in the world to be positive. I know, or to be better or whatever. But you got to convince yourself of it by thinking about it a little bit more and plan. Man, make a plan. My biggest thing right now in everything with John Doe Radio, my life, with everything and what we're doing and what we're discussing. And, I leave this stuff to the end of the show, whether people want to cut out or not. That's fine. I think you guys enjoy it. My biggest thing right now is planning, man. I want to plan. I got to know a plan for everything. I've always wanted to know, what time, how long, who, what, where, when, why. But now I'm totally into plan. I want the plan for the year, 2 years, the whole, I want the rest of my life planned right now, It's been so frustrating. Anyway, and without getting into any more ridiculousness, because I could go off and off and off and off and off about how much I miss the little one, how much I do miss the little one, and how we got to fix this situation. The bottom line is, with all this that I am saying, is I appreciate our sponsors. I appreciate every single one of you that come and listen to John Doe Radio Show, whether it's 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 5 days a week. You listen over and over and over a million times. Hang out with us on Facebook. Shane, all the other people that sit there, and Willie that give me the thumbs up always on everything that I'm saying on Facebook.
Jess.
Thank you guys big times for all your support. Big thanks to our sponsors that make this show possible. Rare Dankness Seeds. Make big thanks to Rare Dankness. Check out raredankness.com for Rare Dankness Seeds. And, everybody that gives into this for me to be able to do this, because it's not like the regular 9-to-5 job. I don't want to go do that. And if this doesn't work, then that's what it is, man. It's what it is. And we're months and months from being able to figure out. It always feels like we're on the edge, but I think we're months from being able to maybe not have to worry about it for too much longer.
It's gonna be a good year.
I've been having to talk. I've been having to schmooze my realtor here for with rent and stuff. And yesterday he's getting all pissed off at me. I don't have any food in the cupboard. Okay. I'm trying to pay off bills from bills that weren't paid off before, and situations that weren't taken care of before, both because of my fault and her fault, and catching up with that, man, with everything, and it's lucky that we have what we have. That's all I gotta say.
Praise God every day for everything.
That's something that you could do, definitely.
Yes, sir. One thing I just want to say real quick. My kid's out of school today, and if he's listening, I miss you and I love you.
Get back to work.
He's at grandma's today. He's out of school.
So I don't know. Anyway, I mean, yeah, not to say pass up that or whatever, but sometimes it just gets deeper, sometimes not. You know, we're trying to build a business here, and I'm trying to do it with only a few people and on a lot of heart and a lot of steam. So we're going to continue to do that, and I would want nothing more than to just keep doing that. I get scared sometimes a little bit. There's been a few times, man, here, like during the middle of yesterday's show, I'll be honest with you guys here, and we are at the end of the show. Like today, I'll admit to you right now, I can barely even I can't keep my eyes open. I'm like, my eyes are so tired. But like during yesterday's show, you know, man, I get like maybe a little bit of anxiety or whatever because of the situation. You know, I just have issue with a situation breaking, giving up on the situation, but then not being able to fix the situation, and then that gives me incredible anxiety. I don't know. I hope that a few people can relate out there, and I'm not just sitting here trying to blabber and blah 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 and me damned it. I know. Not trying to depress anyone or drive anyone in anything, though. But if it helps you, then it's something that works. Is that the president T-bowing?
Yeah.
For real?
It looks for real.
It's got to be a
I
fake.
don't know. I'm trying to look and see if it's photoshopped.
President Obama T-bowing.
You can look better on there.
Good luck to the Denver Broncos here as we go to beat the shiz out of
Orange
goddamn
Friday.
Patriots. Fark Boston right now. Sorry. I love you, Boston. So anyway.
Do we have any Patriot friends or fans of the show?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Just.
Huh?
Fro is, but.
Oh, Fro is in Boston.
That's right.
Fro, we're gonna beat
still
you.
Love you, man.
Gonna be beat you.
I miss him being on Facebook.
Hey, Fro, if we win, I get a spike lock. If you win, you get it. What up?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Anyway, I hope I don't depress anybody. I'm not trying to depress anybody with stuff that I talk about and say. And it is honestly a little bit of me, you know, getting out my my feelings, and also me just talking. And one of the things that, you know, I sat down and talked with my dad about was, you know, he told me, he's like, when you get these feelings of anxiety or whatever, you know, sit down and write out the stuff that you're thinking about, and write about the stuff that you're going through, because, you know, it's not the first time that somebody's been through this, but it's, you know, some of the first times that somebody's been through what you've been through, or where maybe there's certain things that you can give that is like, you know, we're at a new moment in damn time here of acceptance, of interestingness, of whatever. If there's somebody that can get something from it, then it's worth it. That's all that is to that. So I do got to give huge special thanks to I can't even, I'm not getting, it's not like I'm getting emotional or anything, but it's just like, I hate to say this. I hate to love to say this. I got to give thanks to Luanna for, you know, now that we're sitting here in our 5-year anniversary year, being able to move on up and shift gears and stuff. I mean, I sat there and I saw, you know, I'm trying to think last night of where we come from and where we're going to go and plan out everything. And then it kept coming into my brain of like who's responsible for what. And then, you know, anyway, God, I'm blabbering so much at the end of this stupid thing, turning it into this like more than what it is crap. Anyway, I got to give thanks to Luann, because she's responsible for most, if not 50%, if not most of what's going on here on the John Doe Radio Show. She wouldn't have done what she did, then maybe I wouldn't have been allowed to do what I did, which I'm not even going to tell you what I did or whatever during that time, is to be able to get times to work. And she went off to go and have times to work, working in crappy Walmart or wherever the crap it was that she worked or whatever, doing what it did. Sometimes believing, most of the time probably, thinking that someday it would be parlayed. And I'm sure she'd still be here if it weren't for, disagreements and maybe other stuff. So anyway, I just want to give thanks. Jesus, criminy, shut the fuck up. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. Phil, throw something at me next time when I go off that much about ridiculousness, okay? It's okay. Okay? He's like, nah, I'm capturing it, man. That's why I'm here. I'm going to stop this craziness. It's perfect train wreck reality TV here. What are you talking about? Cool, good times. This weekend, gonna be doing that move with the Cushes and then relaxing, watching Denver Broncos. That's about it. I think Kim may be going to rodeo.
Yes, sir.
Phil, what are you gonna do? You gonna do anything special?
I don't know. I'm trying to do something though.
He's trying to do something. Do something or someone. Oh, never mind. I didn't say that. All right. Make sure you check.
He's trying to be double arming it, remember?
What?
He's trying to be double arming it, remember?
being carried out?
No. He wants one girl on each arm.
Oh. Well, holla at me on that one, dude, if you accomplish that one.
Hey.
Need the...
He's got it.
Need the suave. All right. Anyway, thank you to everybody else that's hanging out with us on the John Doe Radio Show. Giveaway, John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com for token tops. We still have a few to give away. Plus, I think she's sending us a box. And we have some other shirts that are coming to us here very, very soon. So check those out when we get them. But be sure to check out tokentops.com. Tokentops.com. And email me, John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com. John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com. And we'll get that taken care of for you. Other than that, I got nothing else. What?
Please check out A Cut Above Medical Marijuana Center.
Yeah, make sure you check out A Cut Above, 1911.
Like the page before I get the picture up. You'll be entered for something cool.
1911 South Broadway. Yeah, and anybody that signs up there real quick, you could be entered in for something cool. You never know when something could drop. All right? All right. Debo's a great guy.
Yes, sir.
Been very encouraging of everything. So, anyway, that'll do it for today. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. We'll be back Monday with some folks from CPM. Not exactly what we're going to cover. And then Glass Tuesday. And then whatever else happens. Hopefully I can keep my shiz together and things will be good.
Scott freaked out this morning when he realized it was Friday the 13th. He
I
said
know.
he was going back to bed.
I about
did you see what he just posted?
No.
Pamela got me out and about, but I got my lucky draws on.
Dude, I got lucky drawers.
Good luck, Scott.
I got lucky drawers, man. I think every guy out there probably has some lucky drawers, man.
Got my Bronco draws on.
Phil, you got some lucky drawers?
Guaranteed.
Everybody, guaranteed everybody. Every dude has got his lucky drawers on today. In fact, actually, I think I do have my lucky drawers on today.
You better be wearing them, I guess, if it's Friday the 13th.
Do have my
Orange Friday, too.
I do have my lucky drawers on, but I
There
don't
you go.
plan on getting lucky. It's the problem. I just want to stay in a good mood and be positive and have good times with all y'all. So everybody have good times. I'm just going to end this.
Have a good weekend.
Have a fantastic weekend for everybody. Phil, Kim, y'all rock, and I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate y'all, the listeners on the John Doe Radio Show. If there's anything that you missed, make sure you check us out, johndoeradio.com. Also live Monday through Friday, 11 Mile High Time to noonish, 12:30 now. Soon we'll get the 2-hour show shifted in gear. When I feel that we're comfortable with sponsors, when I feel we're comfortable enough to pay the bills that we have, and to spend the time, like right now, a lot of time is being spent towards making sure that our sponsors are taken care of, and then getting sponsors. But I would like to keep the sponsors that we have, and then when we can get a little bit of extra time to plan out that 2-hour show is what it's going to take in order to make it something special for you guys. I don't want it to just be 2 hours of us sitting here doing this. I want us to kick into some new, different things and add some really cool entertainment with you guys and more interviews, awesome stuff, maybe another song or two here and there. So we'll see what happens. But in order to do that, we got to stay solid. We got to keep it on the up. We got to keep selling the show. We got to keep everybody supporting us and sponsors and everything. All right. I'm blabbering again. I realize this. I know. I just, I don't want to go home alone. It's John Doe Radio Show. We do it live at the Mile High. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. All right. If you missed us, JohnDoeRadio.com. Until we meet again on Monday, I'm John Doe. See you.
The John Doe Radio Show is produced by Charlie Stash Entertainment. The John Doe Radio Show programming is not limited to, but includes information and humor on counterculture subjects and is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform. Besides, listening to anyone but your mother is just plain stupid. We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.
John Doe Radio.
Radio.
Live.